Are you able to see my screen, right?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So in the database, 1 minute. Okay. So this one yesterday, when I identified it, this status it is was a in integer. Then after that in the database I have been changed to varchar.
Okay.
So here I have been changed like very easily, but here only I have been faced the issue. I mean not here. Yeah, here.
Hmm.
So even though here I have been changed to text, right? Somewhere I have been changed,
Mhm.
but this varchar of lint it is not showing. Then
That is
I
why I told you,
uh,
right?
I
Download the
told you, yeah.
XST file.
Yeah. Then after that,
Hmm.
today morning only I have been understand. Then I just opened that one
Hmm.
and I just download the value and then again I have
Okay.
been done this revision.
Hmm.
Then after that, that all the sync up and all it has been done correctly. Now the
Hmm.
question is like whenever we have been changed, the sync up we need to do as like full sync up. Huh? The
So here also in the record will also you need to change it, modify it, right? It must be giving you the error that this needs to be modified. Have you done that? Can you go to the cancel it?
cancel. Okay.
Go to the data model. It is text here, right? Yeah, this is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
you
Here.
want to sync, right? I mean, it's data is not what is happening now? The data is not coming properly.
No. The issue has been like result.
Okay.
So after that, once
Okay.
it has been changed, that
Yes, if you modify anything in your database directly, right, not through the application, if you are modifying anything
okay,
database directly,
okay,
so if you do the sync up as a manual sync up, because see, you have set some timer at 3 a.m. it should be activated, 3:45 a.m. should run. So
okay.
it will run at that time and then it will correct it. But if you want to correct it just I mean straight away, right, at the same time, you need to go and do the full sync up,
Full sync up.
and it
Okay,
will work. Yeah.
understood. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Any more questions?
No, Ravi. Still, I'm doing that one. I'll just want to finish up the yesterday one as well.
Okay. Okay. Has anyone else joined? No, right? It's just so
Ravi,
how
could
many
you please?
student was there yesterday? I mean, how many candidate was there yesterday? It was you and
Yesterday, I
Bharat.
think me, Bharat, and Roshan, and one more is Aishwarya also has been joined. Aishwarya.
Oh, okay. But they haven't joined yet. Okay. Because it's very difficult. If I go ahead with some topic and then they didn't understand, then again I have to repeat the same thing.
Correct.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. We'll wait for a few moments. Meanwhile, if you have any other questions, you can go ahead.
Meantime, so Ravi, one
Uh-huh.
what I know when I'm doing the practice, right? So what I need to
Uh-huh.
understand means the kind of flow from where I need to
Uh-huh.
start and where I need to end. That I need to bit very whether those things I need to do well. I'm doing more practice. Is
Uh-huh.
it the one?
So, I mean,
Because
where to
because
do things, start the things, right?
because see
Any application, yeah.
this application basically it's more on the configuration. So every time we need to understand the options and we have to like keep in mind. You understand, right? So that is what I feeling is sometimes the kind of flow I'm just missing. So when I'm getting the error, so from where I need to go and to solve. So that kind of
Uh,
options I just yeah.
So those things uh, can't be learned immediately, right? Those things will come with
Hmm.
your practice. Just see. I mean, you get it resolved, right? I mean, by yourself. You didn't need
Yeah.
any help, right? You get it
Hmm.
resolved. So that's how you will keep practicing. Then you will. In sometimes, but what you have to do, you have to go. You may have go to the video and then check what I have done and what I have said, right? So
Hmm.
that's the way. If you do keep practicing, you will one day you will come to know that okay, yeah, this is straight away. You will go and do the practice. For application workflow is that for any application, just not in the app yet. Any application development data model needs to be defined first of all. Like if we define we need a customer for our application, right? So we need a customer table, right? So we can work out. So we
Okay.
created the customer table first of all. So for any application, what I believe is in data model is the base things. You need should be knowing how to create a data models, and then from there, see, What is an application? It's just the manipulation of the data, right? I mean, data
Correct.
is flowing from
Correct.
one place to other place. If data is correct, you can do anything about that. But if you don't know what data needs to be taken and where it has to be passed, then application will not work. So that's the thing. First, understand the data, what data is, and what you want to work on that one. It will be
Okay.
very easy. Now think about, like, I started working with the application development. I just
Mm.
started the record and all. Like, will you be able to understand what record? Why I'm creating this record? All right. So we created the data first, and then we decided, okay, this data needs to be displayed first of all to the users, and then from there we need to create some other workflows, right? So the most important thing in any application development is the data.
Okay. Okay.
So, anyways,
Now,
yeah, yeah.
one more question. So,
Uh-huh.
while the the list, I mean
Uh-huh.
the grid list and the names that you are changing, right? So whatever now it is like reflecting here. See, so let me just show you a few things. I just changed it. Cancel.
You might have not clicked on OK or save. That's why.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That is what I have done. Some changes, maybe. I don't know. See, previously here and all, I have been changed that like clearly. I mean the mobile number and all I have been changed like correctly with the labels clearly. So okay,
Mhm.
I'll just ask the question. So whatever the changes I will done, right? Is it the same thing is going to like reflect in my records as well?
Yes, 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 yes. That is a record. Whatever you are modifying is nothing but the record, and this is the list that you are
Acha.
seeing there.
Okay, okay, got it, got it. Okay,
Okay.
okay, okay, understand. Okay. So Ravi, I just want to remove this one. How to? Do you want to take the?
What you want to remove?
I mean the control that you have been given, right? So could you please
Okay, okay. No, that is
take the
fine.
control back? Yeah. Okay.
It's fine. So what to do? I have not joined today. Okay, let's do something. What they might not be. I mean, it will be useful for them, but there shouldn't be any questions. So what I'll try to do, I'll try give you some functions. Let me share my screen. Okay, I'm going to give you an example of function which is very important. It will be useful in application everywhere. So let's do that. Okay. So in Appian we have a function called index. Okay. So I'm just creating a test rule. So now test rule use of Appian functions. Okay. Now in Appian, how can you work with an array? And we'll see that how it works and how it, if you want to retrieve any particular set of record from an array, how do we get that? So
Okay.
any we have seen that lot of variables we have seen role input. Role input is nothing but a kind of a variable that we need to create it from here. And rule input variable is used to pass information, is kind of a bridge. Okay, like suppose if you want to pass from one place to other place, we need a rule input. Okay, for example,
Okay.
if you say like this, uh, okay, now suppose this is one rule. Okay, this is a rule. I say that this is a rule one. The name is rule one. Okay, and this is a
Okay.
parent rule. And inside this rule one, I need to use one more rule. This is rule two.
Okay.
So this rule 2 is doing what, it's doing x plus y. Okay, and returning the value. Okay, and returning the value. All right. So this x and y, it needs to be passed from the parent rule. Okay, so I suppose we are passing this x and plus x and y from here, and we pass this rule to this one and get the output. Okay, so what we need to do, we need to create two rule inputs here. Okay, and this rule input will be mapped to that. Okay, so this will call this, and then the value will get passed from rule 1 to rule 2, and it will do the calculation, and from here it will go back to the result will go back to the parent rule. Let me give it with the example.
Okay, understood.
Suppose what I'll do, I'll create a rule. I give the name as addition. Okay, return the addition of two numbers. Okay, this is a rule that we are going to give, which will do the addition. It's kind of a function. So what I am doing, I am going to create two rule inputs. I'll say x value. This is going to be a type of number integer, and we'll create one more. I'll say y value. This is again going to be a type number integer. Okay, and here I'll do x plus ri rule input x value plus ri rule input
RI dot
y
by
value.
value.
Okay, so ri refers rule input. Okay, and I just save these changes. Now suppose, for example, I'm saying this whatever the use of this function right now, it is being addition. It's required many places, right? So what if you don't create this function, you have to do all this coding all the places, right? But in
Yeah.
case if the same thing is required to be used many places, what I did, I just created this function. Okay, now I'll create one more rule and I give the name as get addition, get added value. Okay, to get the added value. Okay, I'll say create. Okay, now here I'm not going to create any rule input. Okay, now there is one more type of variable called local variables. Just like the concept of Java, local variables will be local to the function where you are using it, and global variable will be the function that will be available outside as well. So local variables are the locals, and a rule input you can mention as a global variable. Okay, so here I'm defining a local variable local x and just assigning the value 10. Okay, and also defining a local y and giving the value as 10 as well. Okay, or say 20. Okay, so
Okay.
what I need the addition of those two numbers. So if you want, we can do it here itself, right? I'll say local x plus local y, and
So
if you
is
test the rule.
it the Ravi, just want to stop you. So sorry to stop you.
Uh-huh.
So is it top one, is it the right spelling that we are given, that those values, local x and local y? If you see the
No,
values for that 10 and 20, right? So there, yeah.
it
It's
doesn't accept a single character.
no, it's LOCAL, right? Local, right? So if the rate is
Oh
showing like a LO.
yeah, LOCAL, and then okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Now
we'll
it's
say
done.
local bang x value plus
Plus local
local
y
bang
value.
y value. So we will get the output here. Okay,
Okay.
it says 30. Fine. Now the same output I want to get it from a rule that we created. So what is the rule that we created? The rule that we created is to refer that rule, we'll say RUL rule bang and the name of that rule, that is called LAP underscore test get addition, LAP underscore addition. This is the rule we created, right? If
Yeah.
you hear, this is the rule LAP addition, and then once we create this rule, it will behave like a function, and within the function, in below you can see it says it requires two parameters,
Mm-hmm.
x
Correct.
value and y value.
by
So I
value.
copy this value and put it here. What I need to pass for x value? The x value I will pass local
Local
x.
local dot x value and y value pass it the local dot y value by value.
Yeah, right. Now, if I click on test rule again, I'll get the same result, right? 30. So this is how, what is the use of a rule input? How can we pass the information from one place to other place? So that is called a kind of useful as a bridge, right? We are passing as a parameterize here. So this parameter, whenever we create a rule input, that expression rule is will behave as a function, and it will say it requires two parameters. Okay. So this is how the rule inputs work, and this is the what is the we call local variables. Got it? Any confusion?
No, Ravi, no, it's clear.
Okay. Okay.
So in the like
So
real time, are we using the these kind of things like more, Ravi, in the
many,
this kind of
right? You need to use it a lot of time, because when we start creating the query entities and all, right, then there will be a lot of the rule expression rule we need to create, and then we need to see how it works, right?
okay? Then like what
Okay.
is the point of editing low code? So even though this is very simple, or else
No,
we are going to have very complex.
no, it won't be very complex. I mean, low code, as I've shown you, right? Appian generates the code for you. Right? There is a way that Appian generates the code for you. But if you want to learn the code, how the code is behaving, I'm just going to explain you how the code is behaving, right?
Yeah.
But see, Appian generates the code for even some of the logic also it does for you. But some complex logic that business wants, that Appian you have to tell the Appian, right? This is the code you need to do it, right? So that's why it's a low code. It's not a no code. There's a difference between low code and no code, right? Low code, it means you have to do some kind of coding, so you can put some business logic, right?
Oh, okay.
No code is means nothing, no code. So okay, let's go and define with the like one array. So I define one local variable called array, and let's say I just define the array something like this. It's a multi array. So I say id is equal to 1, name is equal to Rajesh, and let's say age equal to 21. Okay, let's copy this. Let's change this parts. 2, 3, 4. One, 22, 23, 24. Not 234. Your image. Okay, now suppose we have this data. We have this data, array data, where we have, you can see my screen, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
where we have like, 4 set of records are there. Okay, now I want to know what is the age of Siva. How do I know that? So you tell me in a pseudo code, not the Appian code. Tell me the pseudo code how you will reach to the age of Siva.
Either by looping that one in like a loop one, I mean while loop, then I can see that whether it's Shiva, then it's like they will reflect the age. That's it.
Yeah, right. So you will first find
Mm,
where the Siva is,
mm,
right? And once you
mm.
get the Siva, what is the associated age with that,
Age will be
right?
there. I will, yes, correct.
Right. So that is how you will do that. So same thing in the Appian. So to do so, what do we need is called index function and where contains. This is a two. Okay, before reaching there, if I say what is the value of what is the value at the third index of this array?
0, 1, 2, 3. The fourth one,
Okay, now first
Neeraj.
listen in Appian
Mm.
it starts from 1,
Acha, then it should be like Neeraj only.
and the third one is Siva. Okay, so how it
Mm.
was? So there's a function called index. I'll say
Okay.
index. It requires 3 parameters. The first parameter will be the array where you want to traverse, where you want to see the find the values. Second parameter is the index. What index you want to do it? So as I mentioned, I want as a third index. And default parameter. What if the nothing is matched? So what you want to return? Return null. If nothing is matching, return the null. That's the default parameter. Now if I execute this, what do you think? What can be the output?
So it will show Shiva.
No, not only the Shiva, but it will show the entire data
Mm.
of that third index.
Oh, entire data. Acha. Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
so
That
we
whole
have
and entire
three
index.
name,
Okay, correct.
yeah, because you are giving the index,
Okay,
right?
because you are calling that whole local RRR, right? So like that is the reason.
Yes,
Okay, understand.
yes.
Got it.
Okay. Huh? So now, how we can also do the multiple index of index, like what I say that nested index. Okay. So now this is the one index which is
Okay,
returning this data. This is nothing but the data that we are getting it, right? 23 age, ID, name, and age. So this is what is this? This is nothing but an array itself. This also it's an as an
correct.
array. So what I can do,
Mm.
I again use the index function at the top of this, and the first out input is called array. So this is an returning an array. Now what you need? Now I need the age. So here you see I am passing the number integer. That's the position. But here in the index in the first index, we are passing the parameter name of the array. So we can pass two things. Either we pass index, or if we have a one array or something, we can pass the parameter also. And then default parameter is a null.
Null.
Okay. What is happening? Okay. This is same thing. This is the index.
Correct.
Array is the first
Initially,
parameter.
first is the
Second
array.
parameter.
Array. Mm. Next is the index and the null. Okay.
Correct. Okay. So if I do those things, what will the output? What you're guessing? What can be the output?
So index of index again it will show the result of first one. Then it will show only the age, I believe.
Yes. It will say so only the age.
Yes, yeah.
So okay. So we can perform two things within an index function. In index function, either if we want, we can pass that particular index, right, or of an array. Like if there are multiple array, then if you will pass in number integer, it will give
Mm.
you the entire set of that particular row, right? Like three and then three. Now, if we pass the parameter name, it will give you the parameter, the value of that parameter of that particular index. Okay.
Okay.
Now, if I go and use index function directly on the complete array, that is called local ARR,
It will show all.
and
Mm.
uh, local ARR, come on, and then if I pass name here instead of number integer, you tell me what it will give.
Okay, you are asking that it will show all. It will show name, three name, but name in the sense means. But
No,
you're not giving it.
nothing. I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
giving any particular index.
Correct, correct. You're not giving any index, but you're giving the name.
Hmm.
So I think it should be give all four.
All the names, only
Yeah,
the
all the
names,
names. All the names. Yeah.
right? Yeah. So that is how index works. Okay, got it. Now
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is what I mean. In this example, we have given this three is a hard coded
Index.
value,
Correct, correct,
right?
correct.
But if I want to pass the value as a dynamically, if I pass the name and it should give me the age. Okay, if I
Okay.
pass the name, it should give me the age. So how do we do that? So to do so, we have a function called where contains. Okay, where contains required two value. First is the value, what value you want to find. So suppose I want to find Mohan, and
Oh,
where I need to find this Mohan, we need to find this Mohan into the
array.
arrays Mohan, right? So what I need to
Then it
do,
should
if
be
I say index
index local
of
or we should
local
local RR
array,
array.
and then here we put name and then null. So out of this name, because this name is this function, you remember this is returning this entire list.
Correct, correct.
So in this list where the Mohan is, okay. So why it's showing error? Because it says you are trying to compare within the text and any type. Because this index is returning kind of an array, right? It doesn't know what kind of array it will return because it's a very dynamic. It can be name, it can be ID, it can be age, right? Those are numbers. Appian doesn't understand what kind of result it is going to be come from this array. So it says it's any type, but you are trying to compare with the text, right?
Okay.
So what we need to do, we can do a function called toString. Let's see toString if it works. If we use a toString, it means we are converting this array to the
String. String.
string, right? Let's see that
Mm.
it is not matching. Why? Because toString is converting into one, but this requires to be a multiple, right? So what
Mm.
we need to do, there is a call to do it, as a similar fashion. There is a function called toUniformString, and same to the apply to the number. Sorry, the input as well. The whatever you have given. Now, if we
Okay.
do this, both will be into the same format, right?
Okay.
This, this is also toUniformString, and this is also toUniformString. Now this both will match, and if you try to get that result, it says Mohan is available at index 2.
Two.
Okay.
Okay.
So now doing this where contains, we understand we need to get the age from the index 2. Okay. So what we can do at the top of this where contains, we apply the index function, right? Index function from this array, local array, and this hard coded value that we have given, right? We are getting it calculated from here. So we can
Correct.
copy, control X and paste it here. And the third parameter say null. Got it? I mean, what I have done
Got.
here. So
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
contains is now calculating the value for us. Now, if
Okay.
I do the test roll, I will get the entire result of that particular index, right?
Correct.
Now, what I need the age. So, what I can do, I can apply one more index at the top of this. Uh, this is the array as my first parameter input, and then second is going to be age, and then the third is the default as a null, and then close the index. Okay. Now, if I click on this, I'll get the age 22. Got it? How it works?
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is the index function, which will be very lot. I mean, we will be using the index function a lot of time. So that's why I just wanted to walk you through. Okay.
Okay.